Alright everyone, I have one more video I want to talk to you actually about the paper. So first of all, no assessment this week because you do have a paper. It is due November 5th, as you can see here, but you do not need to do an assessment this week because I want to give you the extra time to write an excellent paper. Number two, your paper is a bit unusual. You will not need to write an intro or conclusion paragraph. The only thing you will need to have in this paper will be a three-pronged thesis that is written at the top of your paper, and then 3 body paragraphs, okay? I want your body, this is a skill that I think is really important, especially to history writing, is to be able to find good examples in history that prove your thesis, and then to support those examples with your own analysis showing the connection between those examples and your thesis, okay? So that's exactly what I want you to do. I want you to write an excellent 3-pronged thesis that explores different themes in the book. And then I want you to use each of those prongs to be the topic of 3 body paragraphs, right? And each of your body paragraphs needs to have an intro sentence that introduces what that topic is, one example supporting that, your analysis supporting that, right? And your analysis, a good way to think about analysis is to think of the start of the sentence. This example shows, this example demonstrates, this incident exhibits, right? Just put it straight, and that'll allow you to think about your analysis in an easy and concise and clear way, okay? You will also need to have a second example that relates to that topic and supports your thesis, and then another analysis. And then finally a concluding sentence that sums up that paragraph, right? Restates the topic, shows how it's relates to your thesis, okay? Because you're only using Kingdom of Matthias, that's your only source for this paper, your citations, which have to come after each example, right? So each body paragraph should have 2 citations, but they just need to be parenthetical, and they can just be a page number because I know it's coming from this book. You can't use any outside sources. Everything needs to come from this book, okay? So again, 3-pronged thesis at the top of your page, 3 body paragraphs, okay? You need to make it double-spaced. You need to make it 2 to 3 pages. It should be about 750 to 1,000 words, approximately that. It should be between 2 to 3 pages, right? So usually like partially on the 3rd page would be awesome. 12-point Times New Roman font. I said double-spaced. Again, parenthetical citations is fine. I've also included here some interesting themes to explore in your thesis. It could be the role of gender, the role of class, the role of race. Those are always good go-tos. There's some really interesting things about the connection between the Second Great Awakening and the Market Revolution. You can talk about that. There's some really interesting information about gossip media during this time period. I thought it was kind of amazing considering this story took such precedent in the papers at that time, so that's a theme you could explore. Urban life in the 19th century. This is a time when urban life is changing and growing, so you can think about that. What does that entail? That usually entails, forms of prostitution, different hierarchies and class living amongst each other, from the very rich to the very poor. There's also a lot of races interacting, things like that happening. An obvious one, the role of religion, right, and how that's changing because of the Market Revolution and the Second Great Awakening. Sexuality is a big one in this. There's actually quite a bit of sex happening in this book, and interesting switching of spouses and things happening. And I kind of think there's a power dynamic in terms of sexuality in this book, and I think that's a really interesting topic you may choose to explore. I would love to read about that. There's a lot of scandal happening, so you can talk about different kinds of scandal, and I think the last one I give, corruption, really relates to the scandal. So those are things that you can think about. If you have other ideas that you want to run by me, I would love to read some of your theses and give you some feedback, or read a body paragraph and edit it. I am actually in California until Friday, unfortunately, so I will not have an office hour this week, but I will be here in my house just hanging out a lot of that, so that means I'd be happy to have a Skype meeting or a Google Docs, whatever, or I'm sorry, a Google, we can talk through Google Mail, or you can just email me, you know, some questions and we can have some back and forth via email. Whatever works for you works for me. I'll make sure to be supportive, and then it's not due until November 5th, so I'd be happy to meet with you the second week and have some one-on-one time also in the office. Last thing, really important. So it says here, make sure you read over my writing guidelines and tips, because I will take off points if you do not abide by them. So this link has my writing guidelines and tips, and I have really important things in there about don't use excessive or unnecessary adjectives like very or extremely, unnecessary, things like that. When you refer to a historical figure, you must refer to them by the first name and last name, or just last name, but never their first name. Important things like that, but also tips for writing theses and good writing in general. So please, please, please review them, because they will definitely be a part of my rubric. One other thing I wanted to show you, if I can, oops, I'm sorry. So if we go to modules here, sorry, my computer's being crazy. If we go to the modules, so I have within this week's module, week 10, I can't believe we're at week 10 already, I have the Kingdom of Matthias paper instructions, which was the page I was just on, and then I also have Kingdom of Matthias paper. And this is actually where you're going to upload the paper. Remember, it's not due to November 5th, but I also encourage you to look at this page, because I have included, excuse me, my rubric. And my rubric is very detailed, because I expect you to follow my guidelines and my outline, my basic body paragraph outline. And if you do, you will receive points for every single thing on that outline. So every single citation you get 2 points. Every single example you get 4 points, okay? So please take a look at this. I think it will be also useful to you. And again, email me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help with whatever you need, and we can have some back and forth via video chat or just email, whatever's easiest for you. All right, good luck, enjoy the book. It's a really entertaining read. I hope you enjoy it, and have a great week, guys. Bye.